be awesome. Hi there, how are you? Welcome to our kitchen. So we are making dinner tonight. Both my husband and I are cooking together, and we are making a Thai coconut soup in our quick cooker. And right now we have the oil heating up on sear, and then we're going to be adding our mushrooms, which are baby bella mushrooms. And you know, I've already done all the prep work, so you're not going to see that. But if you're not comfortable with a knife, you can use the quick slice to slice your mushrooms. I prefer to slice my mushrooms by knife, just because sometimes they can be a little delicate and temperamental when you're using another slicer. And so I have them on my flexible mat here. So all I gotta do is just pick them up and drop them in. Now, if you need to save time, you can always get the pre-prepped, you know, the already sliced baby bellas and stuff. That will work too. So, and this is our first time making this, so you're going to see, you know, firsthand as far as first time making it, what could happen, and everything. So I'm going to be reading the recipe as I go. So we are going to actually saute, sear these for 6 to 8 minutes, or until the mushrooms, you know, have cooked down and a lot of the moisture has cooked out of them. So mushrooms actually have a lot of water in them. Do you have anything you want to say? And I have my taste tester who absolutely loves Thai coconut soup. And now, it does call for boneless, skinless chicken thighs. We are actually using chicken breast because that is what we have. and we chunked that up. So we did put a tablespoon of oil down in the bottom so that way the mushrooms won't burn to it. So and I will tell you this, sometimes when you're cooking and stuff, even no matter how hard you clean your inner pot and stuff, it can still have some like residue on it and everything. Barkeeper's Friend is what I use to get mine back nice and pretty. And it works every time. I also use it on my stainless non-stick skillets for along the edge where from cooking and stuff you've got your buildup just from your oils and stuff. Because sometimes you just don't get all of that off with cleaning. Alright. These are cooking down nicely. So with the sear or saute, there's a lot of different things you can do. I mean, you could do stews in here, so you could go ahead and sear your meat ahead of time before you add all the other ingredients, and then turn it to the soups and stews setting, and you're only doing it in one pot. That's the fantastic thing about the quick cooker. You know, we do have, what is it, like 16 settings. You've got a sear, you've got a steam. I've steamed shrimp, I've steamed asparagus, green beans, you know, and it's so quick and easy. And then I don't have to heat up the stove. I have the burner free for something else. You know, you have slow cooker, so this can actually be your slow cooker as well. You don't have to have another crock pot. And you can proof bread in it, which is different than a lot of the ones on the market. So you can proof in it, which is the rising of the bread and stuff, but you cannot bake it, you know, bake the bread in it. You do have to take the bread and move it to the oven and stuff, or to a air fryer to bake, if your air fryer bakes, which ours does. And but you also have your rice settings, so white rice, brown rice, you know, they do cook differently. There are different textures and everything. You know, you have your whole grains, you have your beans. I mean, who loves beans, but, you know, hates the fact of you forgot to soak them overnight and stuff. You can actually do beans from dry in here and stuff, which I've done for my chili, and I actually like it better. The beans aren't as mushy as canned, you know, because they haven't been sitting in liquid for a long time. You know, like I said, you have your stew and chili. You've got desserts. You can make desserts in this. You can make a cheesecake. We have a what is that pan called for the cheesecakes, where you can take the side off. The springform pan. Thank you. And we also have a mini bundt pan to go in it, so you can make bundt cakes. You can use your 1 cup prep bowls to make custards, or other desserts like that. You can make your own soups and stocks. So for a stock, an idea is when you're doing all your vegetables, all the parts that you would normally throw away, take a gallon Ziploc bag, put them in there, put them in your freezer. When that gallon Ziploc bag is full, then take them, put them in your quick cooker, cover them with water, and then just make your own stock from it, and then strain it, and you have your own vegetable stock, and you know exactly what's in it. You can add salt if you want. You don't have to, except there's a fish and seafood. You've also got beef, pork, and chicken and poultry. So every setting that you could think that you would want or need and stuff, you have in this quick cooker. And you have custom settings and custom times. So if you have a pressure cooker of your own already, let me know that. I'd be curious what your favorite recipe is to make in it. All the recipes, whether it's an Instant Pot recipe or a Pampered Chef quick cooker recipe, they're all interchangeable. Our settings might be named something a little bit different, but for the most part, they are the same. So now we're going to be, let's see. Transfer jalapeno mixture and vegetables into inner pot, saute for 3 to 4 minutes. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and our onions and our red bell pepper that I've diced up, pretty finely. It does say to do it in the manual food processor, but again, I tend to prefer using a knife. Now our ginger and jalapeno, my husband did do in the manual food processor, and you can see how fine that is. And stuff, because I don't know about him, but I did not want to sit there and chop a 2-inch piece of fresh ginger. So if you like ordering the coconut soup at a Thai restaurant or that and weren't sure of like what all was in it, you're seeing what's in it now. We like Thai food. We like pretty much majority of the Asian countries, all of their foods and stuff. I've actually tried more ethnic food since I've been with my husband than I had before. Whew, that's very fragrant. That all in. Ooh. All right, babe, I think I may have made a mistake. I thought this was a 16-ounce pack. It's only a 10-ounce.
Okay. It's all right.
So, do you want to chop up the rest and then just saute them real quick in a saucepan?
I was just leave it. It is what it is.
Okay. So I didn't put as much mushroom in as it called for. I thought that the package was a 16-ounce and it was actually only a 10-ounce. I should have done the whole. And the way I'm able to tell is just by looking at the ratio of the vegetables to the mushrooms. Alright, so we have just another minute and then I will hit cancel. And then we are going to add our chicken. Our chicken is not pre-cooked. And we're also going to add our soy sauce and our chicken stock. Alright, press cancel.
These are going to take a couple minutes to...
So when I'm cooking when I'm cutting up a protein, I like using our white cutting board because it has the large groove in it to catch any juices or anything. And also too, the fact that it doesn't really stain. If we use it for red meat and it's red, I'll put some Dawn dish detergent on it. And, oh, can you please move those? Thank you. I'll put some Dawn dish detergent on it, rub it in a little bit and let it sit. And then I'll even put it in the dishwasher and it comes back out white. All right, so that is all mixed in there. We have our soy sauce in our chicken broth. That's why it looks a funny color. It is not bad. All right, so all of that is in there. And as you saw, I kind of rinsed my spatula off with the broth. So I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to set it to the soup and stock.
You don't want these then? We can put them in at the last minute, I guess.
That's what it is.
That's fine.
Because I have to add in the coconut milk and stuff too.
Okay.
So we are going to adjust the time down to 7 minutes. So it's not just 7 minutes. It's actually the time it takes to come up to pressure plus 7 minutes. And press start. So there's a little racetrack going around on it and everything. So then it's going to come up to pressure. This little button here will come up. And it's a little red button to the side. That's the only part that you can burn yourself. So when I go to release the steam, I will press this button and my steam release is actually all the way back here. So there are safety features built into this. And, so we're going to go ahead and sign off now. And then we will come back and show you the finished product. Thank you for coming into my kitchen, and I hope you're enjoying the meal. Hi, welcome back to my kitchen. So we are at the second part of making our, what is this, the Thai coconut soup. That's one of the problems with age. It doesn't stay long in the brain. So, as you can see, I cannot open my quick cooker right now because it's still under pressure. So I need to release the pressure. First thing to remember to do though, press cancel to turn it off. Then the button right here, and I'm going to turn a little bit so it doesn't go to my phone. I'm going to press it and you can see where the steam's coming out. My fingers are nowhere near that steam, which is awesome. I don't have to worry about burning myself. But I will tell you, when you're taking the lid off, you do need to be careful on the way that you lift it and stuff. You don't want to lift it and then be centered over top of it because there's still going to be steam from the hot food that's going to come up and it's going to be a shock to your hands. You don't want to lift it straight up to where the steam release is above your fingers because there's still going to be condensation around there that's going to roll back on your fingers, and that will hurt probably for, what was it? It was at least 6 or 8 hours that my fingers were stinging after I had done that. So you have to wait for the pressure button to go down. And we did, in the saute pan, we did cook up the rest of the mushrooms. So remember, with Pampered Chef, we are pampered. We are not perfect. We do make boo-boos. It's a learning experience. Cooking is an experiment in itself. There is no set recipe like baking. You have to follow a specific recipe. And all right, the steam is slowing down, so this should be almost ready. The button should drop in just a second. Slow, slow, slow. And then once I take the lid off, my husband is going to step in, and he is actually going to temper the coconut milk. And this is 2 cans of coconut milk that's going to go into this. Okay. So we're going to turn it. We're going to lift. And I'm staying out to the side so the steam doesn't come up, but I'm staying over it so that any of the residue does go back into the pot. All right, I'm going to step to the side. The ladle's there. That's our new ladle.
Okay, so we're going to do 1/4 cup at a time. I'm not going to measure. This ladle is about a cup or a cup and a half in size.
Well,
so I'm just going to dip it down inside this pot and get a whole bunch of the stock. So why do we temper? We temper to bring the coconut milk up to temperature. And so you'll notice I'm whisking the entire time I'm dumping this coconut milk in. And what it does is keeps it from breaking. So what does it mean when it breaks? Have you ever had any kind of cream or anything like that you poured down into coffee and
it curdles?
And then all of a sudden it curdled because it hit your hot coffee? Well, that was the cream breaking when it hit the cold cream breaking when it hit your hot coffee. So it doesn't actually, I mean, you're not, if the coconut milk actually did break, it's not actually curdling. It's just separating the fat from the cream. And we did use 2 cans of full fat. You're supposed to use 2 cans of full fat coconut milk.
I'm going to add the rest of our mushrooms in here while he's doing that.
I don't know.
What?
Can you feel the side and see if this is...
Oh, what? You don't have a third hand?
No.
It's hard to, because the glass is
Okay.
thick and it's tempered. I would say the better thing to do is if you can dip a finger. That would give you a better indication.
Okay, so it's warm. It's not fully up to temperature yet. So we're going to do just a couple of more ladles, a couple of more quarter cups. You notice I'm stirring the entire time. And we're just about out of juice in here, so we're done. All right, so when you run out of juice inside, you're done. You can't do any more.
Kind of like other things, huh?
Yep. So the recipe says, once temper the coconut milk, the broth, coconut milk until it's warm, stir coconut milk into the pot, and then we're going to juice 1 lime. So I'm going to start stirring in the pot.
Do we want to go ahead and put that on sear to just bring it up to temperature? Or?
I don't know. I don't know what that does. But
It just heats it up like a pan on the stove.
you see I'm stirring, continuously stirring and slowly dumping it in. That helps you from, that'll help prevent it from breaking as well.
So when I say I'm a Pampered Chef consultant, I'm pampered, he's the chef. Things like this, that's his expertise. Comfort food and basic foods, that's mine.
All right, so it's nice and creamy. I don't, you can't see really down in there. I wish you could because
You can see.
like that is perfectly tempered. It didn't break. There's not little clumps of fat floating around everywhere. That's about as good as you can get for this kind of soup. Now, citrus will curdle milk and fat as well. So I'm going to ask my lovely assistant here to help me. I'm going to stir and she's going to press, or vice versa.
All right, and you notice we put the half a lime in cut side down into our citrus press.
So if you want to juice the lime ahead of time, and then you can just dump the lime juice in, then that works too.
So by doing that, it turns the lime inside out, so you're getting the most juice possible. And how do you pick a good lime or lemon? Guys, sorry to tell you, but on limes and lemons, you want the smaller nipple. And that means it's a thinner skin to it, and you're going to have more juice from it.
All right, so we have our pot on sear. Everything's stirred in. and it's looking absolutely delicious. So, thanks. Turning it over to Susan.
Do you want to get two of our stoneware bowls? So we're going to use our small stoneware serving bowls, and I like using these because it is a tempered clay.
It's clay. Yeah.
But
Glazed. It's glazed.
It's glazed, but it's also it's tempered, so it's going to help hold the temperature of whatever you put in it. So if you put something cold in it, it's going to help to keep it cooler. If you put something hot in it, it's going to help keep it hotter longer and stuff. So when we're serving something like soup or anything, I like to use these bowls instead, just because it will help to keep it warm longer. So we did not buy any cilantro or any extra jalapenos. There are jalapenos in this, and but a little cilantro and stuff added for garnishment would be very pretty to it.
It tastes really good.
Like I said, he is the expert. And you can also do, if you do chicken breast, you can do it whole and then just take it out at the end where you would start tempering your coconut milk and stuff. Take the chicken out, put it in a separate bowl, and use our salad choppers to chop it up and stuff. So that way you don't have chunks. You actually have, you know, like pulled apart chicken. So you can see there what it looks like. So there it is. And we are going to go and enjoy our dinner. I wish you were here so you could taste it. But if you would like to get together with some friends and make this your, with them, I would love to help you with it. Just let me know. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.